This example that I'm going to go through real quick here is one that would be relatively easy to do by hand, but there is another feature of the graphing calculator that I wanted to highlight, and that's the table. And this example here is perfect to use the table on. So it says, using data starting with 1950 and projected to 2050, the number of women in millions in the workforce is given by this function. P is 0.79x plus 20.86, where x equals the number of years after 1950. And then we're asked to find the value of P. P here represents the y value when x equals 50. And then what value of x represents the year 2020, and we're going to find the number of women in the workforce in 2020. So again, this is a problem that we can use the table in the graphing calculator to answer. So to start, I'm going to go to my y equals, and I'm going to enter in this equation. So I have 0.79x plus 20.86. I am not going to bother to graph this. I don't need to graph this. I'm just going to go to the table. So to access the table, it's going to be second and then graph. And here is the table. So first we're asked, find the value of P when x equals 50. So in the table, here's my x values. The y values are going to be the P values in this problem. So I have a couple choices. I can either arrow down until I get to 50, or there's a way that you can jump around in your table a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to do that. To make it a little easier to get to 50, I could count by tens. So notice right now I have x equals 20 highlighted. If I hit the plus button, it gives me this change in the table. Right now the x values are increasing by 1, but I can have them jump by tens. So now it's a little quicker to find x equals 50, and there is my y value. So it says the value of P when x equals 50 is blank million. Round this to 2 decimal places, so it's 60.36 million. And then it says, what is the meaning of this value of P? Well, it means that there's 60.36 million women in the workforce. In what year? X is the number of years after 1950. So this is 50 years after 1950. So we're talking about the number of women in the workforce in the year 2000. So that's choice D. Part B says, the value of x that represents the year 2020, so 2020 is how many years after 1950. 2020 is 70 years after 1950, so we're looking at x equals 70. Right now my x values are still going up by tens, and that's fine because I can easily jump here to x equals 70. The number of women in the workforce in 2020, 76.16 million. If I come back to my table, I'm going to come back here to x equals 0. If I want to change it back to where they're going up by, the x values are going up by ones, hit plus 1, enter, and there it goes. This is just a shortcut for using the table.